Hello my friends, the unvarnished reality that often goes unspoken is that women typically do not desire a man who pursues them relentlessly. Rather, they are attracted to a man who presents himself as a challenge, someone who naturally commands respect without overt displays of effort. When a man begins to chase a woman, he inadvertently positions himself as subordinate, which can lead to a decline in attraction once she perceives the shift. Conversely, if a man alters this dynamic by refusing to adhere to her expectations, he may find that she becomes more interested in him, prompting her to seek his attention. It is essential to recognize that the conventional wisdom suggesting that increased effort will yield greater affection is fundamentally flawed. In fact, excessive effort often drives women away. Consider the numerous instances where men have gone to great lengths, planning elaborate dates, maintaining constant communication, and showering their partners with gifts, only to find that their efforts result in withdrawal from the woman. This phenomenon occurs because the more one gives, the less the recipient values the offering. Reflect on the last time you truly desired something that was easily obtained. The thrill of the chase imbues value into the pursuit. By ceasing to chase, a man can re-establish himself as a desirable challenge, transforming into a prize worth contending for. This moment presents a unique opportunity to redefine the relational dynamic, and it is imperative to explore this concept further. Number 1. Understand why she doesn't want you. Before delving into specific strategies, it is crucial to comprehend the underlying reasons for a woman's withdrawal in a relationship. This behavior is not arbitrary. Women do not simply disengage without cause. The phenomenon is fundamentally linked to power dynamics within the relationship. When a woman perceives that she possesses excessive control, the attraction diminishes. This is not a deliberate choice on her part, but rather an intrinsic aspect of human nature. If she senses that she has you under her influence, her interest may wane, prompting her to seek fulfillment elsewhere. The stark truth is that individuals tend to undervalue what is easily accessible. This principle applies equally to romantic relationships. If you have been overly available, excessively eager to please, or too prompt in your responses, you may inadvertently diminish your perceived value in her eyes. Consider the implications. When she recognizes that you will always answer her calls and be present for her, she may begin to take your availability for granted. Once she feels that she no longer needs to exert effort to gain your attention, she is likely to withdraw. It is important to note that women often test men, frequently and subconsciously, through behaviors such as pulling back, acting aloof, or becoming distant. These actions serve as a means for her to gauge the extent of her control over you. If you respond by pursuing her, inundating her with messages, or attempting to rectify the situation, you inadvertently affirm her dominance in the relationship, which can lead to a further decline in attraction. For instance, if you have been dating for a few months and she begins to take longer to respond to your texts, your initial reaction may be to dismiss it. However, as the pattern continues, it becomes evident that she is distancing herself. Your instinct may urge you to address the situation by sending a thoughtful message or surprising her with a gesture of affection. Yet, it is essential to recognize that providing her with validation in this manner only exacerbates the issue. The focus should not be on superficial fixes, but rather on fundamentally re-establishing the power dynamics at play. Number 2. Make her miss you. Understanding the reasons behind her withdrawal is crucial, and it is now essential to introduce the concept of emotional detachment, a significant strategy in your interpersonal dynamics. By emotionally distancing yourself, you create an environment where she can begin to miss your presence. When you cease to exhibit excessive concern, her interest in you may rekindle, and this approach transcends mere gamesmanship. It is fundamentally about reclaiming your autonomy and earning respect without verbal communication. Emotional detachment can be transformative. Yet many individuals falter at this juncture, mistakenly believing that a reduction in interest will lead to permanent loss. The irony lies in the fact that when you become less accessible, stop fixating on her actions, and cease seeking her approval, your allure can re-emerge. Reflect on instances when you yearn for something unattainable, be it a job, a deal, or attention from someone. This heightened desire often stems from the object being out of reach, a phenomenon that similarly occurs when you withdraw. It is imperative to project an image of indifference to her distancing. Refrain from texting, calling, or monitoring her social media activity, effectively rendering yourself invisible. This silence conveys a message more potent than words could express. As she senses your absence, contemplation about your relationship may arise, leading her to question her decisions and consider the possibility of your moving on. In an era characterized by unprecedented connectivity through social media and instant communication, the effectiveness of emotional detachment becomes even more pronounced. By not responding to her updates or engaging with her online presence, you create a palpable void that she cannot easily overlook. Number 3. Control yourself and do not panic. In many cases, individuals falter in their approach when faced with silence from a romantic interest, often succumbing to panic and making detrimental choices. They may resort to sending texts, commenting on social media posts, or inquiring about the person through mutual acquaintances. While these actions may appear innocuous, they can significantly undermine the possibility of rekindling the relationship. The inability to tolerate silence leads many to believe that a simple check-in message is harmless. However, this single outreach can jeopardize the entire strategy. By reaching out, one inadvertently signals that they are still preoccupied with the other person, thereby relinquishing control of the situation. For instance, if the individual posts an alluring photo on social media, the instinctive reaction might be to engage by liking or commenting. However, this response plays directly into their hands, as it provides the validation they seek without requiring any effort on their part. Consequently, it is crucial to refrain from any form of engagement, no likes, comments, or direct messages, allowing the other person to ponder the absence of attention and, ultimately, to miss the connection that once existed. Number 4. The power of neglect and lack of relationship. Part A. The no-contact rule represents a highly effective strategy in relationship dynamics, wherein an individual completely withdraws from communication, refraining from texts, calls, or any form of interaction. This deliberate silence serves to alter the psychological landscape for the other party, particularly for women who are accustomed to men who struggle with maintaining distance. Typically, they anticipate a pursuit, expecting their partner to initiate contact and sustain dialogue. However, by choosing to remain silent, the balance of power shifts, leaving her to question the reasons behind the absence of communication, whether it stems from a loss of interest or the presence of another romantic interest. This uncertainty can provoke a significant emotional response, as the fear of losing the relationship intensifies. Part B. For a designated period, often suggested as 30 days, the individual must embody a ghostly presence, avoiding any form of outreach, including casual check-ins. This phase can be particularly challenging, as many find it difficult to endure the silence, often plagued by thoughts of their partner potentially moving on. Nevertheless, it is crucial to recognize that prolonged silence can lead to increased feelings of longing and nostalgia. In a society characterized by incessant connectivity through various digital platforms, the absence of communication creates a stark void. This void compels the other person to reflect on what they are missing, ultimately fostering curiosity that may prompt them to initiate contact. Number 5. Self-control during inattention. The most significant error that men often commit during a period of no contact is passively waiting for their ex-partner to initiate communication. This fixation on anticipating her messages leads to frequent phone checks and an unhealthy preoccupation with her potential outreach. However, the essence of no contact lies in self-improvement and personal growth. During this time, it is crucial to concentrate on enhancing various aspects of one's life, such as engaging in physical fitness, advancing career goals, and acquiring new skills. This period should be viewed as an opportunity to evolve into the best version of oneself, rather than merely waiting for her return. By doing so, one can cultivate an irresistible persona that may prompt her to reconsider her decision. When she eventually reaches out, the goal is to present a transformed self, one that is stronger, more confident, and more accomplished than before. This journey is not solely about evoking her longing. It is about elevating one's life to the point where, upon her return, one is perceived as a valuable partner. Many of the world's most successful individuals have experienced significant setbacks, such as breakups or failures, which they have leveraged as motivation for self-improvement. By embracing this transformative process, one can create a life that is not only more fulfilling but also attractive to others, including a former partner who may wish to rejoin that enhanced existence. Number 7. Making love and getting her feeling in the time of neglect. This process transcends merely the goal of rekindling a relationship. It fundamentally revolves around cultivating emotional resilience, ensuring that no individual can exert control over you again. It is imperative to develop an emotional fortitude that renders you unshakable and firmly rooted in your identity as a man. The greater your emotional strength, the less you will depend on external affirmation, thereby enhancing your appeal to women and those around you. Emotional resilience serves as the cornerstone of every thriving relationship and is integral to achieving success in life. Without it, one remains vulnerable to the opinions and actions of others. In the absence of emotional strength, even minor setbacks or withdrawal from a partner can feel like personal affronts. Conversely, when fortified emotionally, you can transcend these challenges. You evolve into a man who is not swayed by external influences on his emotions or reactions, which is essential for sustaining long-term attraction. Women are instinctively attracted to men who maintain emotional control, who remain composed in the face of adversity, and who exhibit stability when circumstances become tumultuous. It is crucial to practice emotional detachment across all facets of life. This does not imply a lack of care, but rather a refusal to react impulsively to external stimuli. By not allowing her fluctuations in mood, silence, or withdrawal to dictate your emotional equilibrium, you cultivate a steady presence. This transformation is profound. You become the steadfast individual she can rely on, embodying an unyielding character in the face of challenges, which in turn renders you irresistible. Consider the most accomplished individuals. They do not allow minor obstacles to derail their focus. They maintain composure under pressure, which is a key factor in their success. The same principle applies in relationships. When faced with tests or emotional fluctuations from a partner, remaining composed and refraining from emotional reactions is vital. Recognize that your self-worth is intrinsic and not contingent upon her approval. Therefore, when she withdraws or initiates a test, resist the urge to react impulsively. Instead, maintain your calm, concentrate on your own well-being, and allow her to witness your stability. Number 8. Create a sense of nostalgia. The key to evoking a sense of longing in her is to withdraw your attention and validation. By creating distance, you become less accessible, prompting her to realize your absence and fostering a sense of yearning. In an era dominated by constant connectivity, your silence can serve as a profound signal. The adage "absence makes the heart grow fonder" holds true. When you are perpetually present, she lacks the opportunity to miss you. However, when you choose to step back and disengage, she begins to experience a void, leading her to reflect on your absence. In a landscape saturated with social media interactions and external validation, your withdrawal cuts through the noise, compelling her to question your silence. She may ponder why you are not engaging with her posts or reaching out, and this uncertainty can cultivate intrigue and attraction. For instance, if you typically respond to her social media activity but suddenly refrain, she will take notice. The more you withhold your attention, the more it becomes a coveted commodity, prompting her to wonder about the shift in your behavior. If she shares moments of joy with friends, expecting your usual acknowledgement, your lack of response will lead her to contemplate whether she has lost your interest or if you are involved with someone else. This uncertainty can be a powerful motivator, intensifying her feelings of missing you. Should she attempt to regain your attention through suggestive posts or indirect messages, it is crucial to maintain your composure and remain unresponsive, reinforcing the perception that you are out of reach. Number 9. What should we do if she comes to us at this time? When she finally initiates contact, it is essential to maintain composure and adopt a relaxed demeanor. Avoid reverting to the same dynamics that led her to distance herself initially. This is an opportunity to demonstrate your growth and that you are no longer the person who was overly attentive to her every word. Keep your responses concise and self-assured, allowing her to earn your attention. The critical aspect is to refrain from appearing overly eager. Her outreach may signify various intentions, such as missing you, curiosity, or seeking validation. Regardless of her motives, the least effective response would be an immediate, lengthy emotional reply, as this would reveal your vulnerability and suggest she still holds influence over you. Instead, maintain your poise and convey that you are thriving independently, indicating that she must invest effort to gain your time and attention. For instance, if she sends a casual message like, "Hey, how have you been?" resist the urge to reply instantly. Allow some time to pass, perhaps a few hours or even a day. When you do respond, keep it brief and nonchalant, such as, "I've been good, busy with some projects. How about you?" This approach ensures you do not provide her with emotional leverage, simply affirming that you are progressing with your life, which may leave her questioning her significance in your world. By postponing your replies and maintaining brevity, you convey to her that your existence no longer revolves around her. This shift may prompt her to question whether you have moved on or are involved with someone else, leading her to wonder why your interest appears diminished. This uncertainty is precisely the effect you aim to achieve, as it fosters intrigue and compels her to recognize that she no longer possesses the same influence over you as she once did. However, it is crucial to avoid reverting to previous patterns. When she reaches out, the temptation to quickly reignite the relationship may arise, particularly if she expresses renewed interest. It is essential to remember that this process is about re-establishing the power dynamic. Allow her to initiate contact and strive to regain your attention, responding only when necessary while prioritizing your own life and aspirations. For instance, if she suggests meeting up or expresses a desire to reconnect, resist the urge to eagerly accept. Instead, respond nonchalantly, indicating that you have a busy schedule but may consider it. This approach reinforces your control, signaling that she is no longer your primary focus and conveying a powerful message. If she wishes to see you, she must accommodate your availability rather than the reverse. Women are instinctively attracted to men who exhibit purpose and direction. When she observes that you are not willing to abandon your commitments for her, it sends a clear message that you lead a fulfilling life, with her no longer at its center. This shift in the relational dynamic will likely increase her desire for you, as she will now need to work to regain your time and attention. This change also enhances your attractiveness, as it showcases your emotional resilience and independence, qualities that many women find compelling. It is crucial to refrain from expressing how much you have missed her or the difficulties you have faced in her absence. Even if she occupies your thoughts, it is important to maintain emotional composure and focus on personal growth. When she returns, she should encounter a version of you that has evolved and improved, one that no longer seeks her validation for a sense of completeness. Number 10. Return to normality and love. Upon her return, it is imperative that the power dynamics shift significantly. The previous arrangement, where she held the advantage, cannot be reinstated. This time, it is essential to convey that you are not the individual who will pursue her. Rather, if she wishes to remain in your life, she must acknowledge and respect your boundaries. Her reintegration into your life must occur strictly on your terms, not hers. When she initiates contact, it is crucial not to greet her as if nothing has transpired. Instead, you must recalibrate the relationship dynamics to assert your newfound control. She must understand that you have transformed and are no longer the person who was readily available to cater to her every whim. While she may anticipate the old version of you, the one who was perpetually at her service, she must now encounter a man who prioritizes his own self-worth. The reality is that upon her return, she must earn her position in your life anew. The previous level of access she enjoyed is no longer applicable. If she was once your primary focus, that status has changed. She will need to demonstrate that she values your time and respects your newly established boundaries. It is vital to communicate these boundaries in a clear yet composed manner, avoiding any aggressive or defensive tones. Instead, inform her that circumstances have altered, and if she desires to be part of your life, she must adhere to the new dynamics. It is important for her to recognize that her past behaviors will no longer be tolerated. You are not the same man she distanced herself from. You have evolved, and she must elevate herself to meet your standards if she wishes to be with you. When she reaches out, refrain from engaging in lengthy discussions or hastily arranging meetings. Instead, maintain initial interactions that are light and controlled. If she requests to meet, politely inform her that you are occupied and will reach out when you have the opportunity. This approach reinforces the notion that your time is valuable and that she can no longer expect your immediate availability. The fundamental principle at play is the necessity of consistency. Boundaries are effective only when they are upheld. Should she attempt to test your resolve by withdrawing or engaging in manipulative behavior, it is imperative that you remain steadfast. She must understand that crossing established limits will result in your willingness to disengage without hesitation, eliminating the possibility of further chances. This situation revolves around mutual respect, and if she is unable to provide that, she is unworthy of your time and attention. It is essential for her to recognize that you have evolved into a high-value individual who does not accept disrespect or games. By setting clear boundaries, you not only earn her respect but also maintain a balanced power dynamic. If she wishes to be part of your life, she must earn that position, thereby allowing you to retain the upper hand. This process transcends merely winning her back. It is about transforming into a man who does not need to pursue. You are the prize, the one in control, and by concentrating on your personal growth, establishing boundaries, and mastering your emotional resilience, you have fundamentally altered the dynamics of the relationship. She will likely return, drawn by the challenge you now present, a man who cannot be easily manipulated. However, the true power lies not in her return but in your ability to walk away if she fails to meet your standards. This journey is not solely about mending a fractured relationship, it is about self-improvement. As you invest in your development and elevate your life, you will find that you attract multiple admirers, rendering you unstoppable. You are no longer the individual seeking her validation. Instead, you are the one who commands respect with ease. This transformation will be evident to her and to others, and when she approaches you again, the decision to accept or decline her will be inconsequential, as you will have become a man who controls his own fate. This realization is paramount, and it is time to take decisive action. This is not merely a video to be watched and forgotten, but rather a clarion call for change. If you want to control your life and emotions, hit the subscribe button and join our channel right now. This channel is where you will find strategies to improve and control your life. Like this video so we can continue with more energy. We will be back soon.